everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel RatherBeReading, and today I'm bringing to you a reading vlog. Hi guys, it is about, well, it's 8:49 p.m. on Sunday the 9th of December. Welcome to a new reading vlog. This weekend has ended up being a lot less productive than what I originally planned. So yesterday afternoon, after I got home from my coffee and hair appointment and library and grocery shopping and all that type of stuff, I spent most of the afternoon editing the previous vlog to this, which is scheduled and ready to go, which is great because I haven't got ahead with editing a vlog in ages, so I was really glad to get that out of the way. It's scheduled to upload. That's really great. And then my dad texted me yesterday and was like, oh, you should come around and watch Arsenal again. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I ended up going around to watch that. However, they didn't play till 1:30 in the morning. The original plan, when he invited me, I was like, oh, I'll go to sleep for an hour or two before I go around. That didn't end up happening. So I didn't get to bed last night until about 4 a.m. I got up at around 9, fed the cat, and I was awake for about an hour and a half, I reckon, until about 10:30. And then I ended up going back to sleep. And originally, I was going to go back to sleep for an hour or two, and then I didn't. I slept until 3:30 in the afternoon, which is frankly ridiculous. I haven't done that in without being sick or something in forever. I was obviously so tired. And then by the time I got up, there wasn't really time to do. I only did a few small things and got ready and went round to my parents' place for the barbecue, which I've just got home. I've also just put on a load of washing because I realized I hadn't done any washing or anything, so I'm gonna have no clean clothes for work. Luckily it's summer and everything will just dry on the clothes area overnight. So I won't be going to bed for a while because the washing cycle takes just over an hour and I've still got to hang it all out. But that's fine because I slept until 3:30, so I'm also worried about if it's going to take me a really long time to get to sleep tonight. But also because I ended up sleeping all day, not only did I not get much done around the house, but I also wanted to film 1 or 2 videos today. Obviously that didn't happen. It's not too bad because that was just to kind of get ahead. There's only one of those that was going to go up during this week, and I can still film. So Wednesday night's my one night. It's not free. I've got physio, but I'll be home from physio by 6. We'll still have light, and I'm hoping I can film, edit, and upload that video that night. I don't think that video is going to be super long. So I'll need to do that now because I didn't get that filmed today, and I've got stuff going on every other night. I've got knitting tomorrow night, boxing on Tuesday, so I'm not going to be able to get it filmed any earlier than that. And then the other video that I was going to film, I don't think will be going up until next weekend anyway, so I'll just be able to film that one next weekend. So definitely not as productive a weekend as I had hoped for it to be, but sometimes that just happens. And I'm also planning, I've got 9.5 days left of work for the year, counting down the days, and I'm planning to get a lot done over my break. I really want to focus on the couple of days that I have off before Christmas, on spending those days really getting stuff done, being really productive in those few days before Christmas, so that then when Christmas happens, I can, spend that all with family and not have to stress about that I haven't done anything and that I've got a lot still to do, and then I can just hopefully spend most of the rest of my break really relaxing. That's the plan. So on to the reading update. So also because I wasn't productive today, I wanted to get a lot of booktube watched today and a lot of reading done while I was cleaning. But that didn't happen because I slept most of the day, which is annoying because I'm still, like I say, Vlogmas is putting me further and further behind in my subscription fee, which I'm sure it's doing for a lot of people. So, reading update. I'm still reading Sweet Evil by Wendy Higgins. I'd originally thought that I would probably finish this today, but like I said, I ended up sleeping for most of the day. So I'm on page 364. So I've got about 90 pages to go. So I could potentially still finish this tonight. Because like I said, I've got at least an hour before I'll even be going to bed, with the washing and that. And then I probably would normally read a few chapters before I go to bed. So I might still get this done tonight, but we'll see. So I'm enjoying this. I feel like we've had the introduction of what I think is going to be a potential love triangle, which I'm love triangle was never really a trope that super bothered me, but I'm starting to like it less and less because I've been reading so much YA lately that just has love triangles in it, and it's so rarely well done. Most of the time it's so obvious which like path the author is pushing you down. And if this does become a love triangle, I also feel like I've been spoiled for it because there's a book, the fourth book is told from a particular perspective, and I know whose perspective that book's because people like say it, so I feel like that's kind of a spoiler if that's going to be a thing, but I don't know, maybe it's not. I hope that it's not because I don't feel like it's going to be well done because this is pretty tropey, cliche YA, but I am enjoying it. It's really playing with that kind of forbidden love, and it's pretty angsty. And I'm pretty sucker for that. I love a good angsty, forbidden love. So I'm enjoying it. It's definitely nothing groundbreaking or anything amazing, but I am really enjoying it, like for the most part. So yeah, got about 90 pages left to go in that. So still kind of hopeful I'll get that done tonight, but we'll see. So I think that's about it. Sorry that this clip was just really ranty about how unproductive I've been in my life. But that is it for this clip. I'm going to go now because I closed my bedroom door to block out the sound of the washing machine and the cat wants to leave the room. So I will talk to you guys when I get home from work tomorrow. Bye guys. Hi guys, it is 5:58 p.m. on Monday the 10th of December. I just got home from work a little while ago. Nothing too exciting to report. However, last night I did get not a lot, but I got quite a bit read, which I was really, really happy with. So I ended up finishing Sweet Evil by Wendy Higgins last night, which I was really happy to finally, to get this done, because for a while there, after I slept most of the day, I didn't know if I was going to get it done, but I did. So I have, mixed opinions about this because I don't necessarily think this book was very good, but I did enjoy it. I thought that the romance was pretty good. I thought that the two, what I take to be the two main love interests, that they had pretty good chemistry, and it was almost a bit steamy, not in an overtly sexual way, because it, as I mentioned in previous clips, it is mentioned over and over again about how pure the main character is, but it does have good steamy chemistry stuff going on between the two of them, which I really liked. The writing could get pretty cheesy, however I thought that the world was pretty interesting, and I'm pretty interested to see where this goes overall. So in the end I am giving this a 3.25 stars. So not only did I finish that last night, but I also started my next book, which is an ebook. It's a NetGalley read, After Nightfall by AJ Banner. This is an adult thriller, and it basically follows this woman who had a close friend that she had for a lot of years. However, they had a kind of tumultuous relationship, and something happened. There was some kind of betrayal that's happened, and they've recently reconnected, and they are at a kind of engagement dinner, and the next morning the friend who did the betraying is found dead on the beach. Maybe having fallen from the cliff, maybe having been pushed, maybe having jumped off, we don't know, and it's all just kind of about finding out what that is, finding out what happened. So I read 10% of this I read 15% of this last night, and I read another 10% of it on the bus on the way home. So I'm currently over a quarter of the way through, which is great. Because this book, I had to look on Goodreads because I was getting through it so quickly, and it is only about 250 pages long. So, so I don't have too many thoughts on it so far, except that I'm intrigued by the mystery, but I also do think that the writing is pretty clunky, in that with the book being so short, we get straight into things with no build up. And sometimes that can be a good thing, but in this it just felt very rushed. So we literally open on the scene that's the engagement dinner, and we don't open with it even with it about to happen and the main character thinking about that she was worried about it because of this reason and this reason, and kind of giving you the relationships. We're literally in it. The dinner is mid-dinner, and that's where we start off with the story. And so you're just thrown into things. So I don't know if that's the best way to do it, because I don't understand the characters and the character relationships and all those types of things. And then because of that, a lot of the dialogue feels pretty clunky. There's a lot of hostilities going on between a lot of the characters at this dinner, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense because we don't know what's going on, to the point where it feels clunky in the dialogue because everyone is just being overtly rude. And I was like, who acts like this at a dinner? So I don't know, that feels a little bit weird. So I'm interested to see. I am intrigued by the mystery though, like I said, so I'm interested to see where it's going to go. Like I said, I'm a quarter of the way through that. I do have knitting group tonight, so I'll probably only get a little bit more read before I go to bed, but I'm pretty happy with how much progress I've made in that so far. And then I did also start a new audiobook today. So I started, it is called The Best Bad Things by Katrina Carrasco, and I got 52% of the way through that today. So this is an adult historical fiction that follows a main character named Alma, who previously was a female detective for the Pinkerton Agency. However, she has been let go by the Pinkerton Agency, and she's now basically working undercover for this woman named Delphine, who she's got some backstory with. And she's basically undercover for her. The woman runs kind of an opium thing. She's got an opium thing going on, and she's basically going undercover for her because opium's been going missing and trying to figure out like what's going on. And when she goes undercover, she often dresses as a man. And there's also like some relationship backstory between her and Delphine. So it is like got some female vibes. It's got women dressing as men. It's very full on. It's quite violent. The language is pretty full. Like it's very adult in like violence language, sexual themes, that type of thing. And to be honest with you, I don't know how I'm feeling about it so far. I think the writing's pretty good and I am enjoying it, like I guess, but I don't know. I don't really feel like I'm that invested in this plot because I just don't really care about opium smuggling. I don't know. So I'm interested to kind of see where it goes, and I can't decide whether I like the main character, and I don't know, I just don't feel that connected to her. So I'm interested to see, like I said, where it goes and how it finishes up. I'll probably get it finished tomorrow. It is narrated on audio by Saskia Marlevand, who I have listened to several audiobooks narrated by her. And I have like kind of a weird thing with her where I think she's quite a popular audiobook narrator, but I could see that maybe some people wouldn't get along with her. I understand that she was born in New Zealand. I don't know how long that she lived there for, but a lot of the audiobooks that I've heard her narrate are Australian written. Like she has narrated a couple of the audiobooks for Anna Snogstra, where those books are generally set in Australia. And she has a perfect kind of voice for that because she has a New Zealand, Australian, and New Zealand and Australia have different accents, but they're similar in some ways, particularly when compared to a like North American, like US or Canadian accent. So I can really hear it in her voice, and I don't know if that's just because I'm Australian and whether other people don't hear it. And it's not all the time because I think sometimes she's good at masking it, and then sometimes she'll kind of slip into, because she does a lot of accents across her books, particularly in this book there's a lot of different, she does some Scottish accents and some Irish accents and those types of things. And then sometimes like she'll kind of move into like different dialects, and then I can really hear like her kind of more natural speaking voice, which to me is like not like what I would think it should be for the story. But I still enjoy her. I enjoy the sound of her voice. And again, I don't know if that's because I'm Australian and I can hear the kind of like this region type of inflection in her dialect. I don't know, but I really do enjoy her voice. So it doesn't bother me, but it does sometimes take me out of the story because I can definitely hear it. And I don't always think that it's intentional for her to kind of fall back into that natural tone. Or what I imagine to be the natural tone of her voice anyway. So that's just a little fun fact about the audiobook in case you're interested. But yeah, I'm hoping to get that one done tomorrow. So that is about it, I think, for this clip. So I've got a decent amount read since the last time I spoke to you guys. Hopefully when I talk to you guys tomorrow, I'll be able to talk to you guys about what my final thoughts are on that audiobook. So hopefully I'll have it done tomorrow. And yeah, maybe if I get some reading done on the bus tomorrow, I'll have a little bit more to talk to you about the ebook as well. But I definitely won't have that finished by the time I talk to you guys tomorrow. But yeah, I will talk to you guys when I get home from work. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. It is 5:32 p.m. on Tuesday, the 11th of December. I've just got home from work, which means we are another day closer to Christmas break. which is super exciting. So, reading update. So I've got boxing tonight, so not sure how much more I'll get read tonight. I'm hopeful that I'll get some reading done in the evening when I get home, but I do have to leave for boxing in like 20 minutes, so I won't get like a super amount read. But as far as the reading update goes, so I did finish the audiobook today for The Best Bad Things by Katrina Carrasco. So this is the historical fiction. It's like a historical fiction crime novel, I guess, like a crime suspense thriller kind of, but not like your typical type of thriller. Anyway, we basically follow, I think have I given a synopsis? I'm not sure. We follow a character who is involved in a opium smuggling kind of ring, and it's based on the real life. So it's set in the 1880s, and it's based on a real port in the United States. I think it's Port Townsend, where it was there was a lot of violence and opium smuggling stuff going on at that time in the United States, and this is based on that. So the book is very violent, there's a lot of adult language and a lot of sexual themes in the book. And the main character, Alma, basically spends most of the book dressed as a man, masquerading as Jack Camp. Well, I guess, that's the problem that I have is with the use of the word Jack Camp. Sorry, is the use of the word masquerading, because I'm not sure whether the author was going for some, like, gender fluidity stuff, or because the main character definitely seems to prefer, when she is dress up as a man. So I'm not sure if she was going for some like gender fluid stuff, that she sometimes likes to be a girl and sometimes likes to be a boy, which is I'm totally fine with that, obviously, but I'm also not sure whether she was going for a trans theme, whether Alma was supposed to be a trans male, which again is totally fine, but I'm just the kind of thing, and I get that it's set in the 1880s, so none of these labels would have been around back then, and like, why should we need labels? Like, I get that, but I'm not really sure exactly what the author was going for, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And there's no labels obviously used in terms of the sexual preferences either. I would, if I had to put a label on Alma, I would describe her as bisexual, because she is interested sexually in both men and women throughout the book. I guess you could use pansexual as well. Like, I'm not really sure. There's just a lot of, like, there's no real labels or words used on the page, is what I'm trying to say. So the plot is very convoluted, and I personally think that while I enjoyed the audiobook, I don't think that the audiobook is necessarily the best medium to listen to this in, because the plot is go, 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 go all the time, and twisting and turning, and there's a lot going on that I did start to become quite confused towards the end. I actually rewound the book a couple of different times because I found myself going, wait, what just happened? And having to re-listen to it to really grasp what had gone on. I think maybe if I'd been reading it in print, I wouldn't have had such a problem with that. There were some great twists and turns towards the end, things that I hadn't really seen coming, that I did think were pretty clever. But yeah, so there were parts of the book that I really enjoyed. This book is definitely not going to be for everyone. It is very violent, like I said, and not just violent. There's a lot of, I guess I should say, just for people who would be really put off by this, there is a lot of, I don't know if sexual violence is the right term to use, because it's consensual sexual violence, but a lot of the themes around that are very kind of violent, but consensually. There's no... and you know, that doesn't bother me, like, to each their own. So, I don't know, the plot was could get very confusing. There's a lot of side characters mentioned as well, because you've got the different kind of gangs that are, like, involved in the different smugglings, and everyone is, like, double-crossing everyone, and so there's a lot of names of, like, people involved in the different gangs and things, and I was getting confused quite a few times. I'm like, wait, which one's that again? And then I also don't necessarily think that all of the characters were fleshed out the way that they could be. And I also found the main character, she was just... See, this is the thing. I'm using female pronouns because that's what's used in the book, so I'm just going to keep going with she. But the book... Alma is very full of herself, like very, very full of herself. And that could really start to grate on me because there was never any real backing up of how full of herself she was. Like, sure, she was like tough and all of those types of things, but she got beat like a lot. So, and outwitted a couple of times as well. So I was just like, well, you ain't all that. So, I don't know. I found that a little bit frustrating as well. But I guess like that could be like true to the type of character that it is as well, because some people are really full of themselves without it being warranted, let's be real. So I don't know, it was just, also the ending, I don't know, it's very abrupt and I'm not sure how I felt about that ending either. So I think I'm giving it a 3-star because there is some stuff that I really enjoy, but I've got some real like issues kind of with it as well, but it was enjoyable. So yeah, I'm going with a 3-star for that. I'm still also reading my Kindle NetGalley book, After Nightfall by AJ Banner. Excuse me. I've got a tickle in my throat. I'm still reading that. I got to about 42% of the way through that last night, and I think I'm about 56% of the way through it now. And that's only with reading on the bus on the way home, so I made good progress on that tonight. So I'd really like to hit like 75% tonight to get 3/4 of the way through. That's kind of my like mini goal that I've set for myself. And it is, like I mentioned yesterday, it's not a very long book and it is really easy to get through. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, there are parts of it that feel a little bit clunky, but it's not falling into a lot of thriller tropes that are out there, which is something I really appreciate. So the main character, right from the get-go, I don't want to spoil anything, but there's something that happens that makes her question someone, like right from the beginning, and she does not pull any punches right from the beginning. She asked that person straight out, what's going on with that? And I was like, yes! Because so often in thrillers when that happens and they have this like question or reason to be suspicious of someone, they just like think about it constantly in their head and like think about how they're suspicious of it, but they never actually confront the person with it. And then so often, as I'm sure you guys know if you read thrillers, then they confront that person and it's so easily explained, and if they just asked the question they would have got answers so much quicker. And I loved that she just questioned the person straight away. And I also really like that she also speaks to the police. Sure, while you've got her trying to kind of investigate things and trying to figure out what's going on, which is obviously very common in thrillers, she also, a couple of different things has happened and she's immediately gone to the police and told the police about what's happened and included them in like what's going on. And I was just like, oh, that is refreshing as well, because so often, as again, I'm sure you guys know if you read thrillers, you've got the main character will, you know, discover something or be told something by someone and will just think, oh, I need more evidence. I can't tell the police because I don't want to accuse anyone. It's like, you don't have to accuse someone. You can still keep the police, like, you know, apprised of the situation and tell them what's going on and what you found out without accusing anyone, just so that they have a complete picture. And so, yeah, I'm really loving that it doesn't fall into any of those tropes. So while, like I said, the dialogue, not necessarily the dialogue so much now, the dialogue at the start, while we got thrown a bit in and things felt a little bit clunky in terms of that, and I really feel like maybe an extra couple of chapters could have been added into the story near the start to like really flesh things out and like bring us into the story a bit clearer. There's a lot of great stuff in there as well. I have actually read another book by this author, I think. I need to look into that. But yeah, so I'm enjoying it and I'm interested to see where it's going to go. So yeah, I think that is it for this clip because I've been banging on and probably not making a lot of sense, because sometimes I watch these clips back and I'm just like, Karen, what is wrong with you? So that is it, I think, for this clip. I'm going to go to boxing and go to work tomorrow and then talk to you guys when I get home from work tomorrow, in which case we'll be yet another day closer to Christmas break. So I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. It is 6:55 p.m. on Wednesday, the 12th of December. So when I got home from work, I had to go immediately to a physio appointment. And then it was so hot here today, I didn't feel like cooking or doing anything like that. So I picked up some dinner on the way home. I quickly ate that. I then came home and filmed a video, which is why we're in front of my bookshelves. I thought I would take this opportunity to have some bookshelves in the vlog from a slightly different angle from which you normally see them. And so I filmed that video. I need to get that video edited and uploaded, like scheduled to go live tomorrow morning to keep on top of my uploads for December. So I've got that to do tonight, which I need to go do like right now. So not sure how much I'll get read tonight, but hope the video shouldn't be too long, so I'm hoping that I can still get some quality reading in tonight. So onto the reading update. So last night when I went to bed, so my original goal was to get to 75% of the way through after nightfall. However, when I actually went to bed, I was already like 80% of the way through. And then by the time I just did my like normal, like before bed reading, I was at 90%, and I was like, I'm just going to finish this because I'm so close to the end. So I actually finished after nightfall last night. So I enjoyed the book. Like, basically, I don't have too much more to say about it than what I've already said. All of the things that I mentioned about what I really liked about it, about the main character not being stupid, like still stand, but there's nothing really, I don't know, this book has got some really good ratings. Like even Lisa from Books and Smiles recently gave this, I noticed on Goodreads, gave this a really good rating. For me, it was enjoyable, but it was just nothing like groundbreaking. Like I didn't think there was anything in there that was, you know, super amazing. It was enjoyable. I didn't have any super big problems with it, but it was kind of just okay. So I'm giving that a 3.5 star rating. 3.5, maybe a 3.75. I might mull on it a little bit more. I don't know. Actually, I think I'm going to give it a 3.75 because I think it not going into those horror tropes and being a bit smarter is worth an extra quarter star. So I'm going to give that a 3.75 stars. I then started today Sweet Peril by Wendy Higgins. This is the second book in the Sweet series. And I read like a chapter on the bus, not that much. And then on the bus on the way home, I read for like 20 minutes. And yet somehow I'm 79 pages of the way through this. Like this is so quick and easy to read. And this is only like 370 pages. So I'm already like, I've only got like 300 pages of this to go. Don't really have too many thoughts on this yet because I've only read like not a super huge amount of it. But this is what I'm going to be focusing on tonight. I also started a new audiobook today, and this is where things get a little bit interesting because I started the audiobook today for Eternal by C.C. Hunter. This is the second book in the Shadow Falls After Dark series, and I've read, I actually don't know how far through I am. Let me just quickly check how far through. I know I'm over halfway, but how far? 56. I'm 56% of the way through. I'm considering DNFing it and just DNFing the series, you guys, but I listened to it all like through the day and I got 56% of the way through, so I decided that I would just mull on it overnight and then decide tomorrow. Because at this point I'm just kind of like, I'd rather be listening to podcasts. And I'm behind on podcasts at the moment, so I'm like, maybe we'll just take Thursday, Friday, listen to some podcasts and just DNF this series. Do I really want to continue? So this is the second book in the series. I mentioned the first one earlier in the month. And everything that I was kind of finding kind of annoying in that book I'm finding really annoying in this one. The main character is, like, just all of the characters, I'm finding it so juvenile, and I almost feel like this is some of that YA, and I don't find this generally, like, I read a lot of YA, but this is some of that YA where I feel like I'm too old to enjoy it. Like, it just feels very silly in a way, and I don't know, like I say, there's so much going on in there, like, there's a love triangle, like I mentioned. I don't think it's a very good love triangle. Of course, one of the main guys has found a way to be kind of pushed out of it in this one. But, like, you know, it's only a temporary, that they're going to, like, rear their ugly head, so to speak. Again, there's also, because this is paranormal in nature, there's some ghost stuff going on. And at one point, and this is actually a cliche that I really love, and for me not to enjoy even this cliche is what I'm saying about how I'm not really enjoying the book. It has the main character and one of the boys that she's got a love interest, one of them, breaking into a house to investigate something and then about to be caught, and so they hide in the closet and then they're trapped in this confined space, which is something that I normally love. However, it then has, and this isn't really a spoiler, but it has some ghostly characters who are constantly kind of giving them both visions. And there's like a girl ghost and a boy ghost who are romantically involved. So we don't know if they're ghosts, we just know that they're people who need help and are somehow managing to send visions. Are they dead? We don't know. But they're romantically linked, and their ghosts basically kind of take over their bodies and give them a vision of a makeout session, and so they end up performing this makeout session like as themselves being taken over by these ghosts. And I was just like, really? One, I'm not into that because there's some real consent issues there. Two, I was like, literally, what does it add, like, to them trying to get you to help them. How does it help you guys to know that they had a makeout session? It doesn't. Everything else that they've shown you up until this point has been like leading you to try figure out exactly who they are, why they need help, etc. And then they're just going to randomly bring you into a vision of their makeout session. Like, come on. So you guys see what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, okay, this is too over the top. And like I said, the writing just generally, like with all of the like little teenage quips and things that try to be added in there, I just find very like eye roll worthy. So I don't know, I'm gonna let myself sleep on it overnight, but I think it's very likely that I'll decide to DNF this and I'll just listen to podcasts tomorrow or for the rest of this week and then pick up a new audiobook next week. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with my reading. I'm going to go now because I want to get that video edited as soon as possible so that I can get to some more reading tonight. So yeah, that is it for this clip, and I will talk to you guys again when I get home from work tomorrow. Bye guys. Hi guys, it is 5:31 p.m. on Thursday, the 13th of December. I'm just home from work. I've got boxing. I was about to say knitting. I've got boxing tonight, so I need to leave in like 20 minutes. Nothing too exciting to report. What is going on with my hair? It is so windy outside that my hair has just basically looked atrocious all day because like it's not just like windy, it's like gale force, like full on winds, like the kind of winds where when it's blowing toward you when you're walking, like you can hardly walk. It's really crazy outside. So anyway, on to the reading update, I guess. So officially decided to DNF Eternal, is it called? I think it is, by CC Hunter. I just don't care. I just really don't care. I was thinking about it today and I was like, do I even care to find out like what's happening like in this particular book, let alone the series? And I was just like, no, I really don't. So I'm DNFing that at 56% of the way through. So I just spent today listening to podcasts, which was fantastic because I was like weeks and weeks behind. So I listened to a whole bunch of different podcasts, but for example, for the Buffering, the Vampire Slayer podcast and the Angel on Top podcast, which are like sister podcasts that now that we've got to the spin-off show, the point in the show where there's the spin-off show, there's the separate podcast about that as well. And so I had 2 episodes of each of those to listen to, and like they do it bi-weekly, so I was like 4 weeks behind on that. So I listened to 2 episodes of that today. So I still have 2 more to listen to tomorrow, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, I'm just listening to podcasts instead. However, oh, that's not it. Where's my, oh, it's over here. I was about to pick up the wrong book. Sweet Peril by Wendy Higgins. So last night, I got massive amounts of this read. I read to page, I think it was 270. Let me just check. See if I can see what page I would have been on. I was on exactly page 270, which is just ridiculous considering that I only started this yesterday. And I also did edit and upload an entire video last night. And I still managed to read like another 170 pages, I think it was. Sorry, another 200 pages, I think it was, from where I was at when I spoke to you guys. So really happy with that. And then, so I had like 100 pages left to go, and I finished this on the way home just with my bus reading. So I read like the last 103 pages or whatever it was on the bus on the way home. Well, I read like 30 pages or 40 pages. I don't know how much I read. I read some of it on the bus this morning and I read the rest of it on the bus on the way home. This is just such easy, quick reading in case you couldn't tell. So I enjoyed this for the most part. I don't think there's a lot of plot in this one. There's not, it definitely feels like a second book. There is not a lot going on. Funnily enough, in this book, we have yet another, oh, quick, we're in somewhere we're not supposed to be, we have to hide in this closet, oops, now we're making out scene. What even? I haven't read a scene like that in literal years, and I read 2 scenes of that yesterday. There was one in Eternal, and then there was one in this, and I was just like, I'm really into that trope, but twice in a day? God, the gods were smiling on me yesterday. So I did finish this, like I said, not a lot of plot. I do think that the romance has great chemistry. There's like a lot of like steamy makeout type scenes, which I'm into. I'm interested to see where it goes in the final book. we've got basically, like, say, typical second book, that this is a lot of just, like, setup for the third book. So I'm interested to see exactly how it all finishes up. I'm going to put my rating on the screen because I can't even remember at this point what I rated the first book, and I need to mull on. It'll be something around a 3-star, but I will mull on that and I'll put it on the screen exactly what my final rating of that is. So that's where I'm at, and now I'm get to move on to library books, which I'm hoping to get a bit read, at least a little bit tonight before I go to bed. I would love to finish the library book that I have to return, so I could return it on the weekend, because they are currently overdue. And the library book I need to pick up, I'm not going to grab it because I can't be bothered to reach it, because it's over on the far end of the side table. I don't think it's very long, so I'm hoping to get through that pretty quickly. Yeah, but I'm really happy with how much I'm getting read lately. I'm just really in the reading mood at the moment. Like, I'm really loving getting a lot read. Like, and even though not necessarily all the books that I'm reading are so amazing or anything, I'm just loving, like, reading and just, like, devouring the written word. So yeah. So I'll have new books to talk to you about tomorrow that I will have started from the library, and I won't have any audiobook to talk to you about because I'm going to just keep listening to podcasts tomorrow. And yeah, I'm going to go so that I can watch a couple of booktube videos before I have to leave for boxing. And I'll talk to you guys when I get home from work tomorrow. Bye, guys. It's Friday tomorrow. I know I just said bye, but it's Friday tomorrow. So get excited because it's the penultimate week of work before Christmas break. And I'm so excited about it. So yeah, talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi guys, it is 5:13 p.m. on Friday the 14th of December. I got to finish work early today, so my work, one of the perks of my job is that in the summer months, so December, January and February, on Fridays we get to finish at 4 o'clock, which is really great. So I finished a bit early today. I got home a little while ago and I fed the cat, and then I read a chapter of my book, and now I'm filming this update for you guys. So it is Friday, thank goodness. There's only a week left before Christmas break, and we finish up at lunchtime on Friday, so at 12 o'clock, so we're only 4.5 days away from being free for 16 whole days. I cannot wait. This week dragged so slowly. Today in particular, like, I finished early today, and today still felt like the longest day in all of history. Weekend plans. So tonight I'm going round to my sister's place. My sister's husband is out tonight. He has like a yearly work Christmas, like, it's not a Christmas thing like for us. Anyway, he's out for the night, and so obviously she can't leave her kids alone. And so I'm going around there instead, because normally she comes around here. And I think we're going to, like, watch a movie with the kids, and then me and my sister I'm not sure if we'll watch Buffy or Angel. I'll take the stuff with me so that we can watch that if we feel like it, or like once the kids go to bed, or if we'll watch something else. I don't know, we'll see. Tomorrow I don't have a lot of plans. I'm going for coffee, of course. My only real, like, goal for tomorrow is to get everything I can for the rest of the Christmas presents that I don't have, which is all of them. I've basically got Shakara's, my brother's girlfriend's gift, and that's it. So I still need to I know what I'm getting for my mum, and I know I need to buy a gift for my secretary at work, and I know what I'm doing for that, and I know what I'm getting my dad. So I need to sort all of their gifts. The person who I really don't know what I'm doing is my brother, because he is impossible to shop for. And then the only other people I need to buy for are my niece and nephew. I don't buy for my sister and her husband because I buy for the kids. And I don't typically shop for my niece and nephew. I either take them shopping as, like, a fun experience thing, like to do after shopping, one at sales after Christmas, so you get more bang for your buck anyway, and also it's just, like, fun to, like, have an outing, and, like, we normally, you know, have some kind of treat while we're out and go shopping together and buy stuff, or we do some kind of, like, experience thing, like last year for my niece's birthday, which is in January. I took her like on a like fun outing to see The Greatest Showman, and we had dinner and then went to see that. So we do stuff like that. So I don't actually give them like a gift on Christmas. So yeah, I really only have 5 gifts every year that I need to get, which is for my parents, my brother and his girlfriend, and my secretary. And so far I've got one of those 5 gifts. So, and I also want to buy, I need to get like gift bags, and stuff, and wrapping paper and stuff to wrap and stuff the gifts that I do am planning on getting. So that is the plan for tomorrow. And then on Sunday, I'm actually going to the carols with my, well, I think we are. I need to confirm it. I'll confirm with my sister tonight that we're still doing that. The carols by candlelight, our like local one that's on. We went 2 years ago, and then we didn't go last year because it was going to be so hot. Last year, the forecast on the day of carols was like 30, I think it was 36 degrees. And I said to my sister, I just can't. Like, I cannot. Because, like, we typically go, the actual carols don't start until, like, in the evening because it's carols by candlelight. But we typically go, like, you have to kind of go early to get a spot, pretty much, anyway. And we, like, last year went, I don't even remember what time, but we were there basically all day. They do have a lot of stuff on there, like before the carols, of like jumping castles and face painting, like games for kids and stuff like that. But it's still just like a long day, and I hate the heat. And I just was like, I can't face a whole day out in 36-degree heat. That was last year, but this year we've had a lot of cool weather. Like, we haven't really had many hot days, and it's only supposed to be, I think 23 or 24 degrees on Sunday. So I think we're going to the carols. So that will be probably most of my day on Sunday. But like I said, I haven't actually confirmed with my sister. I need to like confirm details. I'll do that tonight when I see her. So that is the life update and weekend plans. So now onto the reading update. So last night I started Between Georgia by Jocelyn Jackson. This cover is so ugly. It looks like a really like 80s YA cover, but it's not. One, it's not YA, and two, it's not from the 80s. Like, when was this originally published? This edition was published in 2006. I don't know if that's when it was originally published. I think it was. But, like, it's like a naked hardcover, and there's it's so ugly. And it's a large print as well. Like, the text is huge. So I'm confident that I'm going to be able to get this read probably and return this to the library tomorrow, because this is overdue, because like I said, this is a large print edition and it's only like 330 pages. So this is women's fiction, I guess. I guess some people would call it chick lit, but to me, I kind of classify chick lit as being like more light-hearted, fluffy, contemporary women's fiction, whereas this is not what that is. This is more like literary, like drama type stuff. So this book, and like I could not gather. I read the synopsis of this so many times and didn't really understand what it was about. But now that I've started reading it, I can tell you guys what it's about. So we are following a main character named Nonny, who, so basically, to get what the story's about, you need to go before Nonny's born. So there is a 15-year-old girl who is pregnant, but her family don't know that she's pregnant, and she is going into labor, and she goes to this other like family. So they live in a really, really small town in Georgia where there are only 90 people. Like, the population of the town is 90 people. And she goes to this other family's house, because one of them's a nurse or whatever, and she ends up like giving birth in this woman's lounge room, and won't let them call an ambulance or any of that stuff because she doesn't want her mother to know that she's had a baby. And the sister of the nurse ends up basically keeping the baby, and they end up like doing this like adoption of the baby, and the sister takes the baby so that this girl's mother will never know that she had the kid. However, then when Nonny is that baby, and then when Nonny's about 3 years old though, the mother of the girl, so technically Nonny's grandmother, finds out that Nonny is technically her relation, and this starts what is basically an ongoing war, or like feud between those two families. And then at the kind of start of this novel, so we follow Nonny when she's like 30 years old. And at the start of this novel, there is something that happens between the two families that basically, so the war's being like, feud's been kind of like simmering for Nonny's whole life. And then there's an event that happens in this that basically kicks everything off into like high gear. It's a very complicated synopsis for a very short book. So Nonny's like adoptive mother, or like the person who raised her, like her mother, is deaf. She was born deaf, and then she lost her sight when she was about 40, so she is now blind. So there's that kind of representation in there as well. Jocelyn Jackson, this is the third book by her I've read now. She always just writes about really interesting issues, and really interesting kind of like family dynamics and all of that type of thing. And I think it says that, like, does mention on the back that the kind of thing that sparks off sparks the feud into high gear is going to reveal all these kind of family secrets. And that's kind of, I guess, where we're at. So I started this last night, and I read about 100 pages last night, and I've then read, I'm on exactly page 200 right now. Like I said, it's only 330 pages, so I'm like almost 2/3 of the way through this. I am enjoying it. I enjoy Jocelyn Jackson's writing. And yeah, there's not really too much I can talk. Let me read you guys the first line of this book, actually. It had like one of those first lines where you're like, okay, this is going to be interesting. So the first line is, oh, that's the acknowledgements. So the first line is, the war began 30 years, 9 months, and 7 days ago when I was deaf and blind, floating silent and serene inside Hazel Crabtree. So that's like the first line of the book. So yeah, I am enjoying this, looking forward to finishing this. I'm also want to finish this, and I've got a graphic novel that's also overdue to the library. They're like the two things that I want to get finished like tonight/tomorrow, so that I can return them to the library tomorrow, because they're the two overdue items that I have. So that is kind of it, I think, though. That is the reading update. I've given you the life update, and I think I'm going to go now because, well, I'm going to go because I don't need to say anything else in this clip, but I'm really starving. I actually skipped lunch today at work, and I've got a headache. I didn't, like, not eat at all. I had breakfast when I got to work, which was at, like, 9 o'clock. I had breakfast at, like, 9, and then didn't eat lunch, but then at, like, in the afternoon, I ate a muesli bar, and I ate some grapes, and I ate a banana. So I didn't, like, not eat anything, but I'm super starving right now, and I need to eat before I go around to my sister's place because I'm not having dinner around there. So yeah, that is it, I think, for this clip, and I will talk to you guys at some point tomorrow, probably from my car, because like I said, I've got a bit of running around to do tomorrow to, like, get different Christmas present items and things like that. So yeah, that is it. I will talk to you guys again tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. It is, what time is it? 12:44 p.m. on Saturday, the 15th of December. So I'm actually just filming this clip in my carport because there was no other convenient place to film in the car today, because I'm not going to the library today, because I mentioned yesterday that we're going to Carol's tomorrow, and where the Carol's is held is right next to the library, so I'm just going to take my books back tomorrow when I'm going to be there anyway. So today has been, so last night I went around to my sister's place, like I mentioned, watched a video with the kids, watched a movie. That's how old I am. Watched a movie with the kids, and then they went to bed. Me and my sister watched a movie. So that was great. And then came home and read quite a lot. I had quite a late night in the end. I then this morning went for coffee and such with my parents. I then did quite a lot of Christmas shopping, like getting last minute things for Christmas presents. And by last minute things, like I mentioned yesterday, was it yesterday I mentioned? I don't know. I mentioned about Christmas presents, was basically all of the presents that I needed to get. So finally got everything for that. I then came home, I changed the kitty litter, did quite a bit of tidying around at home. I then went back out, took my cans to the recycling place, and then I went and drove to the music store, and picked up I've got it right here, this is a voucher in here for my dad for Christmas, which me and my sister are going in together because my dad is really into guitar. He's gotten into it kind of in the last year, and he's already bought quite a lot of stuff. He's got a couple of guitars, amps, things like that, and he's always got his eye on something at the music store. So I did buy him that voucher for Christmas, and this is the last thing that I now needed to get for presents. I managed to get everything else today. I got my brothers, I got gift bags and stuff for the presents that are like physical presents. I got my mum's present. And that's really it. Like I said, I take my niece and nephew like shopping or on an experience type of thing. So I'm done. I'm officially done with Christmas presents, which is real good. So yeah, I just got home from going to the music store. This afternoon, I need to film a video. I have one video I need to film, edit, and upload tonight. So that'll probably be taking up most of my afternoon. And then tonight, I think I forgot to mention yesterday, we're actually out to dinner tonight. Tomorrow is my Nan's 86th birthday. So we're out to dinner tonight for her birthday. So yeah, I need to get that video filmed, edited, and uploaded. So I need to film that one today, obviously. And then there's another video that I need to film tomorrow, but I can't film that video till tomorrow. And then I also need to... I want to get this vlog as edited as possible this weekend, because after the video that I filmed today, it's going up tonight, this vlog will be the next video that goes up, and I want to be on top of it because I've been pretty good with my upload so far, apart from the video that I filmed during the week, and then today's video, which I'm kind of editing as I go. I've been kind of ahead and on top of things, and if I film that other video tomorrow, I'll be ahead for like next week, and I just want to keep on top of things. So that is kind of where my plans are. And like I said, I want to edit as much of the vlog probably tonight, maybe when I get home from dinner, if I have some time this afternoon to start editing it, the clips that I have so far, because tomorrow I still haven't spoken to my sister really. We're definitely going to Carol's, but I'll see her tonight at dinner for my Nan. Got a plan. I don't know what time we're going. I think I'll be there most of the day. So I'll probably have time to film the video that I need to film tomorrow in the morning. And then that'll be it. Like, I'm not going to have time to do a lot of editing and stuff tomorrow, and I'll be at the Carols into the night, because it's Carols by Candlelight, and then I'm back to work on Monday. So, yeah. So, on to a reading update. So, I mentioned that I read quite a lot last night. So, I ended up finishing this disgustingly ugly book last night, Between Georgia by Josh Helen Jackson. I'm not going to hold this because it's really ugly and I just don't want to hold it. So, and I also really want to swap arms because my arm's getting sore. So, I read that. I finished it last night. I enjoyed it. I really do enjoy Josh Helen Jackson's books just generally. It's definitely probably my least favorite of the three that I've read so far. My favorite of hers is definitely still the first one that I read, Almost Sisters, which is her most recent release. And then, what was the other one called? Gods in Alabama, which is her debut. That's probably my second favorite. And then this one, which is her second book. And I would like to read all of her books because I really do enjoy her as an author. However, I had a look last night and I think she's got like 9 or 10 books published, and my library only has, I think, 2 or 3 more of them. So I'll get all of the ones that I can from my library, because like I had a look at her next published one after Between Georgia last night on Kindle, because my library doesn't have that one, and it's like $13, and I'm not paying $13 for a Kindle book. I refuse to pay basically more than like, I'll pay like $3 or $4 at a pinch, but I really don't like anything more than $3, and I'm just like, no, I'm not spending that money. I just can't justify it for like, when you don't have the physical book, I just can't spend that money. I just can't make myself do it. Anyway, so I did finish that last night. I enjoyed it. She writes complex family relationships really well. That's like a big focus in most of the books of hers that I've read. So like I mentioned yesterday, so you've got her mother who's blind and deaf. Her mother's twin sister, who's also an important role in her life, is got like some mental illness things, and she, I guess trigger warnings kind of for self-harm. It's not self-harm in the typical way that you would imagine it. It's more, and there is a name for this, and I'm sorry, I don't know what it is, but she pulls mainly on her arms, like hair at her arms, and she's got some mental illness things that she can kind of spiral into. And I just really did love all of the relationship stuff between the family members. And I definitely, like I said, it's not anything amazing, this one. There wasn't any hugely great messages that I took out of this one, but I still really enjoy it. So I'm giving that a 3.5 star. So I finished that last night. The other thing I need to do before tomorrow, before I go to the library, is the next thing I'm picking up is Paper Girls Volume 1. That's the other book that I need to return to the library when I go tomorrow. So I will be reading that at some point, like tonight, this afternoon, tonight, or tomorrow morning, or whatever. And that's basically it, I think, for this clip. I'm excited now that I've done all my Christmas shopping and like everything's done. That I don't have to worry about that anymore. Every year I tell myself I'm going to get more organized and like get started earlier, and then it just never happens. I'm sure most people can relate. And it's not like it's a huge deal because I'm at the shops like for coffee every weekend. But when you do have to make specific trips, like I did to the music store, and like I had to go to the bottle shop or like liquor store to get a bottle of champagne for my secretary as part of her Christmas present, and like that's not in the center where we go. I had to like go across, like, you know, it is just stuff that you need to think about, and just like I need to plan out earlier next year what I'm getting everyone and just get on top of it sooner if I can. Anyway, I say that every year, but we'll see. So that is it, I think, for this clip. And I'm going to go in now so that I can film this video that I need to film this afternoon, and I will talk to you guys at some point during the day tomorrow. I'm going to try take the camera with me to Carol's tomorrow and get a couple of clips at Carol's, if I remember, hopefully. So yeah, I'll definitely talk to you guys at some point tomorrow. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. It is 10:39 p.m. on Sunday, the 16th of December. So we're getting a bit of a pillow talk clip tonight because it's quite late, and it is the last day of this vlog, so I wanted to make sure to update you guys. So today I had a pretty uneventful morning and I didn't get that much done this morning that I needed to. I ended up going to bed really late last night, so I ended up sleeping quite late this morning. And then I did a few things around the house and like washing and stuff, but I didn't end up getting any time before I had to leave. So I went to the Carols tonight, and I didn't have any time before I left to edit this vlog. I wanted to get as much of it edited as I could. So I think that this vlog's going to end up going up a little bit later than what I'd originally planned. But I think I've got some room in my dates, so I'm just going to try to get it up as soon as I can. So, like I said, so I didn't get a lot accomplished, and then I went from 3 o'clock this afternoon, I went to the Carols with my sister, my brother-in-law, and my niece and nephew. That was a lot of fun. You know, so the carols start at 7:30, so we were there for like 4.5 hours before it even started. There's like a kid zone, or like family fun zone, I think it's called, where there's like some rides and jumping castles and things for the kids. And we just, you know, sat around and had some dinner, like grazed, you know, we just had like cheese and meats and crackers and dips and things like that, and it was a lot of fun. And then the carols started, and that was a lot of fun. And there's a big I meant to take the camera with me to get a few clips, but I completely forgot to take it with me, so I'll try to put on the screen a couple of the pictures that I took, and I took a little bit of footage of the big firework display at the end of the carols, which was so nice. I just got a little bit of the beginning of it, and if I can figure out, I've never tried to insert footage from my phone before. I mean, I'm sure I can do it, so I will try to insert that footage either here on the side, or it'll be after this clip. So that's kind of what I've been doing, and it's a lot later than I normally go to bed, which is why I wanted to film this clip quickly before I go to sleep. I haven't read anything today, and I'm not going to read anything now because, like I said, I normally try to have my light out by like 10:30 at the absolute latest, normally by 10 on a work night, and it's already almost 11. So I haven't read anything at all today, but yesterday I did end up reading, and I don't have it with me because I actually, where the Carols is right next to the library, and so I returned it to the library today, and that was Paper Girls Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan. I don't know about this, you guys. I've heard really mixed opinions about it, and I enjoyed it kind of. I like the artwork, like the color palette of the artwork and the way that like the colors are done. I really enjoyed that part of it. I'm intrigued by the storyline. So it's basically about 4 girls it's like the morning after Halloween, and they have a paper route, and so they are doing the paper route, and then it's got some like science fiction-y like parts to it, like basically some weird stuff starts to happen, and I don't really know how much I can tell you without spoiling things. I had heard what the kind of thing is, but I guess technically it could be considered a spoiler for this first edition. I don't really know, but I'm sorry, I'm like in a really weird position. So I don't know. I enjoyed parts of it. Like I enjoyed the premise and I enjoy this like girl group. There are trigger warnings for homophobic language, but it is called out. Like it's in there. There's like, it's set the morning after Halloween. I should have said in 1988, which is the year of my birth. It's a great year. But it is called out. So it's obviously in a time when that kind of language was a bit more, I guess, considered acceptable. Which it's not, but it is called out. Like there are quite a few different times when it's said where people are like, call the character who's saying it out, which was great, I guess. But it's very confusing. There's a lot going on that you're just like, huh? Like, I don't know. I was left very confused. And I think that's the point. And the ending definitely had a bit of a hook to it, the end of this first volume, that made me go, I kind of want to read, like, continue. So I'm giving it a 2.75 stars because I just have really, really mixed thoughts about it. I think I will definitely continue on to at least volume 2. I had a quick skim of a couple of spoiler-free reviews of volume 2 just to see whether you kind of get a bit more answers, and it seems like maybe you don't. And I'm wondering whether it's going to be like the Morning Glory graphic novels, which are some of the first graphic novels that I ever read, and I think I read like 8 volumes of that. And then by that stage, we had so little answers in that series. Like, that series is so confusing, Morning Glories, that it's just, I ended up DNFing the series because I was just like, we've got no answers and this is going on forever and I just don't know what is happening. And I just got really over it. So I'm worried that if I continue on with this series, it's going to be like that. So if you've read the Paper Girls graphic novels and you've made it like quite a few volumes in, like, please do let me know down below whether it's worth continuing, whether you do get some answers. I obviously understand that you're not going to know everything that happens because it's volume to volume, and that's fine. But I prefer it where you get at least part of a plot within each volume. Like, you at least get some answers, or you know, you can kind of follow along with the story. And so far in this first volume, I don't really think that you can follow. Like, there's not much of the plot within this volume. This was more just setting up, I guess, the characters and kind of, I guess, hooking you in, which is fine if you're going to get answers like further on and like get a bit more plot of its own plot in the future volumes. But like I said, I'm not sure that that's going to be the case. So if you know, please let me know down in the comments. But that is all I read yesterday. Like I said, I haven't read anything today. But I'm pretty happy with how much I've managed to read in December so far. And I've only got, so I'm back to work tomorrow. I've only got 4.5 days of work. I finish at 12 o'clock on Friday. And then I have 16 days off. But I've got obviously the rest of December off, so I'm off from the 21st, so technically I've got like 10 days in December where I'm not working. Obviously Christmas and stuff is going on in there, so I won't get a lot of reading done on Christmas or probably Boxing Day because I have family stuff going on both of those days, obviously. But apart from that, I'm hoping that I can get a lot of reading done in those other days, because there is still quite a few books that I wanted to get read before the end of the year. So, but I'm pretty happy with how much I've managed to read in the first half of December. So I think that is it for this clip, and this is the last day of the vlog. So we'll either go into the into the outro, or we might have some fireworks. I don't know what's going to be coming up right after this clip, but that is all I have for this clip. So I will talk to you guys again very soon. Bye guys. guys enjoyed this reading vlog with a few little Christmassy things kind of in there a little bit. I'll have another reading vlog for you guys very soon. I'd love to chat with you guys how your reading month is going. Are you still trying to get a lot of books read before the end of the year, or have you kind of given up? I would love to know. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more reading vlogs from my channel. But that is all I have for this video today. Bye guys!